person uses the average of 58 kilowatts of energy per day, whilst we should be using around 28.9 kilowatts of energy. Kilowatt hours, or kWh, is a unit of energy we use to calculate our energy usage, and we use energy to do things from turning the light on to plugging in your phone. There's also many different kinds of energy and places to get it. However, we get most of our energy from burning fossil fuels. Unfortunately, fossil fuels are non-renewable, meaning once we burn them off for energy, they can no longer be replaced. Fossil fuels are formed when dead plants and animals were gradually buried by layers of rock. Over the past 20 years, nearly 3/4 of human-caused emissions came from burning those fuels off. Since fossil fuels are non-renewable, we have to be careful with our energy usage and make sure we aren't using too much of it. Now, you might be wondering, why do we have to care about not using too much energy? Well, for starters, burning off and using fossil fuels is extremely bad for the environment and can and is already leading to global warming.
Hello, I am here to help you understand some basic ideas with energy usage. So first, let's talk about kilowatt hours. I'm not here to just talk about kilowatt hours, but it's a good place to start. As Melissa stated earlier, kilowatt hours /kWh are a unit of energy used to calculate our energy usage.
Allow me to explain. Hi, so Dahlia just explained how you can use kilowatt hours to calculate energy usage. But you're probably wondering, how do I even do that? Well, I'm here to explain. Now, to find kilowatt usage by an appliance, you simply divide the watts listed on the appliance by 1,000, the number of watts in a kilowatt, and then multiply by the hours used. For example, 7,200 by 1,000 is a total of 7.2 kilowatts. By doing this, you'll know your daily usage, and if you need to do some adjustments to lower it.
Well, thank you for explaining that, Jacqueline. At least now I don't have to explain it. Well, since we've got that part covered, let's get into some basic terminology. There's renewable energy, non-renewable energy, and greenhouse gases. Now that's just like 3 main points. We might talk about more later. You may have heard of some of these before, but you may not know what they mean. Let's start off with renewable energy. Renewable energy, which you might have heard of, is also known as clean energy, comes from natural sources or processes that are constantly replenished. For example, sunlight or wind keeps shining and blowing, even if their availability depends on time and weather. Now, non-renewable energy. Non-renewable energy comes from sources that will run out or will not be replenished for thousands or even millions of years. Most sources of non-renewable energy are fossil fuels, which you most likely have heard about, but there are some other non-renewable energy sources too. Next, and last, greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are gases that trap heat in the atmosphere. I'm not going to go too far into it, but I will tell you what the greenhouse gases are. There's carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases. That's just a little bit of it. Yeah.
So now that you know all about energy, it's time to explain some very easy and simple ways to reduce your energy usage. One great way is to make sure you turn off your lights when you aren't using them. Now, I know everyone says this, but it really is a great, simple thing to do that will eventually become a habit, and you won't even have to think about it. Another thing you can do to add on to the last one is, during the daytime, if you have windows in your room, to leave them open and open the blinds up and let the natural sunlight be your light instead. Then you won't even have to turn on your lights. This is also a great way to take advantage of the bright light that the sun offers, especially during this type of year. Number 2. If you have ceiling fans in your house, turn them off every once in a while and make sure to use them appropriately. Number 3. You know those plugs you use in order to charge your phone, laptop, and basically every other appliance you have in your house? Yeah, well, try unplugging some of those off when you when they aren't in use, or try and unplug them unless you need them in the exact moment. Number 4, conserving your water. Whenever you're brushing your teeth and you aren't using the faucet, make sure to turn them off. Number 5, close your doors more. When you open your refrigerator doors, don't leave them open for too long and try to open and close them as quickly as you can. Number 6, use power strips more. Power strips can actually cut power off and save energy because they can detect when a device isn't being used. And number 7, transportation. Instead of riding your parents' car to and from school every morning, try, if you have a bike of course, riding or even walking to school. There's obviously if your house is close enough to the school. All of these things may seem small, and they are, but over time they will add up, and all of these things will eventually become habits, so you won't have to think about them.